Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Happy Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There, I'll try to answer any of the questions that you may have about the weather here across mid-Michigan. I do apologize if I miss your question. I don't always have the chance to look over there. But we're going to start off looking outside today, where we do have these snow chances falling. We're going to start off looking at our Flint Vehicle City camera, where there is still snow falling there in that area. It has continued to fall here over probably the last hour to 2 hours, just some of those last bands moving through that area there in Genesee County. So far, though, travel's looked pretty good there, but obviously could see a few slick spots as you're getting out and about through the remainder of our Wednesday, maybe possibly Thursday and Friday. Now, let's take a look outside as well across the rest of the region. This is downtown Saginaw, where you're seeing actually the sun looking like it wants to peek out maybe just a little bit. There's still some cloud cover there in the sky, but no more snow falling, and definitely a winter wonderland here in downtown Saginaw. And then looking back down towards Flint on our downtown Flint camera, it still has that snow falling. So obviously a difference there from Flint to Saginaw. And obviously if you're living in any areas to our northern counties and even out to the west, that snow may actually start to fall again as we have more lake effect snow bands starting to develop here across mid-Michigan. But with this snow falling, we did get to some video, some people out enjoying that winter weather. You get that time of year. So let's take a quick little look at a video we got for some people sledding this morning.
Beautiful day.
So obviously all this snow is allowing for all of our winter activities to take place. It includes sledding, and it's going to be a nice afternoon. Again, that snow chance should start to leave us outside of an isolated chance with some lake effect snow, but temperatures are going to cool down. So if you are going to be outdoors here over the next really couple of days, make sure you are bundled up, as our feels like temperatures definitely going to start to tumble as some cold air starts to move its way in. I just want to say, Craig said hi, Stone. Hello, Craig. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. But Sky Tracker again shows we do have that sort of main area of snow moving itself out of the south-southeast, but we have added some lake effect snow, especially into our northern counties. So Roscommon, Ogama, down to Clare and Gladwin. If you're in that area, don't be surprised you do get some more snowflakes here over the rest of the day. And even over the next couple of days, you're definitely going to see that lake effect snow continue to develop. Won't be as heavy as what we saw last night, but definitely noticeable as you're getting out and about. Now, in terms of traffic, we've actually improved quite a bit throughout the day. Obviously, road crews have been able to get out there and sort of keep up with any of that remaining snow that's falling. We look to our northern counties right now, really just showing good travel conditions. Now, could you run into some slick spots? It's definitely a possibility. So just take it slow out there. If you have to, you may run across some back roads that aren't in the best shape either. Those will get caught up to as we get through the remainder of today. But again, don't see much heavy additional snow, so definitely a good time for our road crews to get out there and keep up. We get down to the Bay region, central Michigan, into our eastern counties. There are a few yellow areas, slowdowns, especially towards Tuscola and Huron County. So if you live in those areas, don't be surprised if you do come across some slowdowns there on M25, on M81, even there on M138, that could be another area that sees some slowdowns just as road crews start to keep up or try to catch up. And then again, here on County, M142 is another area seeing some slowdowns. M25 along the shorelines seeing some slowdowns. So it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that we run into some slowdowns today, but definitely seeing some improvement as we get into this afternoon. And I did see that there was a warning out there towards Ashley there in Gratiot County. Let's see if I can get what that is. What are they warning us about here? Will it load? So the road is blocked there on M57 on Cleveland Avenue at Croswell Road to State Road. So if you are traveling that way, especially on M57, just be wary that you do come across some slowdowns there with that. But otherwise, we move down to Genesee County again, just a few isolated areas as road crews catch up. Again, you are getting additional snowfall in Genesee County right now, so road crews may have scraped already, but you've gotten that additional snow, so just be careful of that. M21 there in Shiawassee County, also seeing some slowdowns just east of Owasso, north of Durand. Then as we move towards Lansing, if you're going to be traveling down there today, looking in good shape. Road crews obviously got out there, maybe not as much snow into Ingham County, but still definitely enough to have impacts on the roadways. And then Metro Detroit also looking relatively good here for this early Wednesday afternoon. And just first alerting you to the traffic conditions or road conditions through the remainder of the day. I'm going to keep it in that sort of yellow. Still got to be careful out there. There could still be some slick spots as we continue to see improving conditions. But this evening, as temperatures drop and we obviously have some wet areas, that may refreeze. So even as tomorrow morning you're getting out and about, you may come across some slick spots. So you're going to hear that a lot through the remainder of the day, is just having that refreeze possibility as temperatures remain at or below freezing through the rest of today into tonight and then through the rest of the week. We'll actually have some details on that colder air in just a second. But I did want to look at temperatures right now, mostly in the upper 20s and lower 30s. Really the warmest we're going to be through the remainder of the week, as again that cold air does look to build itself here over the next couple days. Bob asked how much in Lexington. I don't have that off the top of my head right now. If you've seen your reports, let me know. We've gotten a lot today. It's a lot of areas at 4 to 5, maybe 5 to 6. I've seen a 7 and 8 in some areas. So we're definitely in a good range, like we said we were going to be with this system being pretty healthy as it moved in. So I do apologize, Bob. I don't have that off the top of my head. I can maybe look real quick just to see if we have any reports from that area from the National Weather Service, but I would have to dig just a little bit on Facebook if we wanted to find that. And the National Weather website. National Weather website is fighting me a little bit, so. And we'll have updates on that in a little bit later. I'll go through and dig up some of those snowfall totals. So if you want that, make sure you go follow me on Facebook at meteorologist Stone Schaefer. I'll try to get those out here later into the afternoon. I do, again, apologize. I don't have that off the top of my head, and the National Weather website being a little bit slow right now. But as we get to our feels like temperatures, we are a little bit breezy out there. I'll get to the wind here in a second, but with some stronger winds, our feels like temperatures are in the teens and lower 20s. A little bit warmer out there to the west, but definitely going to feel it as you're getting out and about here through our Wednesday afternoon. And our feels like temperatures will continue to drop. Again, we have colder air moving in. Our winds will continue to stay strong through the rest of today. So by midnight, our feels like temperatures will be mid to lower single digits. There may be some areas below zero, especially as you're waking up tomorrow morning. As you head off to school or work. So it's just going to be a few days. You need to be bundled up. Obviously, it is December. It's this time of year where we do get these colder temperatures, but sometimes people forget, what winter's like, and that's what we like to remind you is just be prepared for those colder temperatures. Now, again, I mentioned winds are definitely noticeable. We're looking at sustained winds out of the northeast or the northwest at 5 to 25 miles per hour. Definitely seeing some stronger winds in our shoreline cities. Caseville at 25, Bay City at 19, Saginaw 20, Harbor Beach at 22, Port Sanilac at 24. are just a few locations that we're seeing those winds. So definitely noticeable, may blow some of that snow around. Luckily, that snow is a little bit heavier, a little bit more moisture in it, so it doesn't get blown around as well. But I'm not going to count out some of this later snow being a little bit lighter, and that ends up giving you some of that blowable snow. So if you come into an area that maybe is just a field, no trees or nothing to block that wind, you could come across some reduced visibilities. And in terms of wind gust, definitely seeing peaks up to or close to 30 miles per hour. Looks like eastern Sanilac County definitely getting some reports up to 60 miles per hour. So definitely going to be breezy as you head out and about for your Wednesday. 7-day forecast though, that's got us in the 30s again today, but we're back to the 20s tomorrow and Friday. And then we have highs in the 20s and upper teens as we get into the weekend. So like I mentioned, we have colder air moving in. I will say, if you've been hearing some rumors, there may be a ridge trying to set up here as we get past about mid next week. That could end up giving us some warmer temperatures. If you're someone that's looking for that snow melt, we may get there. It's still a long ways away. I'll have that here in just a second. But for the next 7 days, it's definitely 20s and teens and lows we can see here back in the single digits, especially Saturday night and Sunday night. So those will be nights into the mornings that you definitely need to be bundled up as you're going to be out and about. But I do have to take a quick break right here. Once I come back from that break, again, we'll be looking at more snow chances through the remainder of the week and those temperatures dropping as we head into the weekend. So you don't want to go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everyone. This is going to be the second half of our Wednesday afternoon First Alert weather update. I again want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we just have an update on our First Alert weather day that continues. Luckily, we're starting to get to the end of the main system of snow and should have conditions improving across all of mid-Michigan through the rest of our Wednesday into our Thursday. The one thing that won't be improving, though, are temperatures. We continue to see that cold air move itself in. Here are your lows for tonight. It's back into the mid to lower teens, so definitely going to have that possibility of refreeze as we're getting through the night. If you have any wet surfaces, whether that's your sidewalk, your driveway, or even any of the roads that you see tomorrow morning, be prepared because they could be ice as we do get temperatures sitting in the lower teens. And then as we look beyond tonight into the weekend, again, as that cold air continues to move in, our lows will continue to drop. Single digits for Saturday night into Sunday morning, single digits for Sunday morning or Sunday night into Monday morning. But like I mentioned when we're looking at 7-day just before the break there, you're actually seeing some warmer air trying to set up with a ridge through mid next week. Again, it's sort of far away, could end up missing us. It's been typically what we've been seeing lately with these ridging patterns is even throughout the summer, we had a few times where models were showing, hey, maybe we get this ridge moving in and it just doesn't quite have the energy to get to us. It misses us to the south. We'll see how things develop. I will say a lot of the long-term models do have it. That's always a decently good sign if we can get some agreement that something will happen. But there's also another system possibly by the mid to end of next week that we may have to keep an eye on that could end up sort of hurting that and bringing in some more cold air. So obviously lots of questions to be answered here over the next couple of days, but definitely going to be cold through the weekend. And again, with our wind staying strong, our feels like temperatures continue to be a factor. This is Thursday morning, 6 a.m., below zero or at zero for many locations across mid-Michigan. We get to Friday morning. It's more of the same. Below zeros in areas like Standish, Gladwin, Clare, Mount Pleasant, Sandusky, Bad Axe, and then a lot of areas right near zero. We have Saginaw at 2 degrees, Bay City at 1 degree above zero, Elma at 0, West Branch at 0. So definitely going to be cold, and you continue the trend of feels like temperatures being below zero for Saturday morning. This is 8 a.m. Saturday. Those below zero single digits widespread, and Sunday it's more of the same, just maybe a tad bit warmer, but still a factor. You're definitely going to need to be bundled up as you're heading out and about through our weekend and even into the start of next week before that warm up may start to move itself in. And we'll see that warm up here on our upper air temperatures. It's always a good look out into the future. This is this area I'm going to highlight real quick of cold air that's going to be moving itself in. So through the next couple of days, we'll be impacting North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota. It's going to move itself down to the sort of southeast here over the next couple of days. And then by about Saturday, it gets to us. So that's where we'll see our coldest temperatures is Saturday into Sunday. But then you start to notice as we get through the end of Sunday, there's this area out to the west that's more yellow. That's the start of this ridge that we're starting to see build itself. Now, does it get us? We'll see. But this is even Tuesday, still seeing that area of warmer air maybe moving north along that ridge. As we get through Tuesday into Wednesday, it will be this system. How does this play out into the midweek? Because as you can see here on this upper air model, it does struggle to get to us. I think that's mostly because it has something that's blocking it up there to the north. This is, again, another system that could bring us some winter weather towards mid next week. Again, lots of questions. And then by Thursday, we can also see another system moving itself in. So just a few areas that could end up hurting us with that warm up. You'll probably see it a lot here on social media over the next couple of days is, hey, we might have this warm up by mid next week or the end of next week. I think just wait a second, take it a little bit slower because things could definitely change and we may not end up even getting that warmer air trying to move in if it does end up getting blocked by a system to our north and then another system moving in on Thursday. And this is something we may just have to keep an eye on, is this system to end next week. I don't think we're done with the winter weather. Obviously, it's December, we're used to it, but we continue sort of that active pattern that has been trying to show up over the last really week and may continue through December. And like I mentioned before, winds continue to stay noticeable. This is through the remainder of our afternoon. By 4 p.m., wind gusts from the north-northwest or northeast at 15 to 30 miles per hour. Maybe a few areas isolated up to 40 there in Huron County. And then as we get into Thursday morning, wind still noticeable. This is 5 a.m., wind gusts from the northwest at 15 to 25. So with that northwest wind, that's why we continue to see some of that lake effect snow developing. And then as we get into Thursday afternoon, it's really just more of the same. Wind gust at 15 to 30 miles per hour. So not much change. It will be late Thursday into Friday. If you're someone that doesn't like the stronger wind gust, you definitely get some relief. As winds will calm down for a majority of Friday. It will be late into the afternoon by 6 p.m. that you see winds out of the east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. So it doesn't look like we're going to be done with that wind, just maybe some relief on Thursday. Sue said, about 6 inches in West Branch. Roads are great, just wet. Yep, and that's what we're going to see across Michigan. Thank you, Sue, for that report. We always take those. If you did get a measurement, make sure you send that in to the First Alert Weather team. We try to get those into the National Weather Service as well. But yeah, roads definitely improving. Could be wet, and that's why tonight, as we get that drop in temperatures, be prepared for some icy conditions in some areas. Now, our hour by hour continues to show that lake effect snow chance. It's very isolated. I don't think it's going to be the most widespread, even that heavy, but it's enough to notice flakes falling, especially if you live Huron County out towards Roscommon and Ogama County, and even down towards Clare and Gladwin would be other areas that could see some of that lake effect snow. As we get through Thursday, it's more of the same, just isolated lake effect snow chances. That'll be a majority of the day what we see with some cloud cover. And then Friday, guess what? It's more of the same, just some lake effect snow chances, very isolated as we get through Friday morning into our weekend. There has been some signal we could see some more lighter snow late on Friday into Saturday morning. It doesn't look to be the most consistent bands of snow, but it's definitely noticeable. It could be something that adds some areas just a little bit more accumulations throughout the week. And that's why I did want to quickly highlight the snow predictor. Again, this is going to change on and off. It's just going to matter who sets up over or under some of those snow bands. But don't be surprised if you get an additional quarter to half an inch, and even some areas to the north, another inch as we get through the day into about Friday/Saturday morning. So we're not done with that snowfall. It is December, should continue with some lake effect. Amy asks, will roads be good tomorrow morning for me to leave for Tennessee? I think they should be in good shape. There will be some slick spots. Just be careful, Amy, as you leave. We do have a chance of some refreeze tonight as our lows, well, they look to set back into the teens. So I wouldn't call them perfect as you leave, but definitely better than what we saw this morning. Just be careful. If you do come across some wet roads, there's going to be that possibility with teens that we see some refreeze tonight into tomorrow morning, and maybe something we see the rest of the week, because as we look at our 7-day forecast here, we can see temperature stay below freezing for Thursday, Friday into our weekend, and even on Monday, we'll have some lake effect snow chances, and our lows don't warm up very much. It's teens and single digits. So you may get some refreeze over the next couple of days. I don't think roads are going to be perfect. They're definitely going to be better, though, as we get here over Thursday, Friday into our weekend. But with that, I don't see any more questions in chat. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, you can head over to our website at WNEM.com. There you can go to our weather tab where we always have more on our first alert weather updates. We have our article there. We have more information on our weather. You can catch us on our live stream tabs there for any of our digital desk live streams and any more content that we do have. You can also scan that QR code right below me. That will download our First Alert weather app onto your mobile device, and there you can get more updates from the First Alert weather team. We will have a stream later into the afternoon/evening as Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will be in here with his update later in the day, hopefully getting into better shape, but obviously keeping an eye on that refreeze chance. But as always, hopefully everyone has a wonderful rest of your day, and stay safe out there. Stay warm as our temperatures do start to drop.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.